Every step I was taking up there was a real test.
It made me recall some of my memories and struggles that I've had in my own life, because this was in itself a struggle, one of the hardest things I did to actually climb this mountain.
As I was climbing the mountain, it was a struggle, and I was thinking back on my life and thinking, where have I struggled? Somebody mentioned that we're going to go up to the top and hold the flag of Imam Hussein and hold the flag of Ahlulbayt up there.
This made me think as to how Imam Hussein has helped me in my life and during this climb.
I'm just remembering Imam Hussein, remembering his struggles that he went through. Of course, what struggles we go through is nothing compared to what he did.
I looked back at him, I looked at my colleagues, and I said, there is no way I'm going back home without climbing all the way up there. I still remember the first time I read Hussein's message asking me to register for Ben Nevis, and I was in such a joyous mood that day at work, and I just agreed to do it. And then I started looking up at Google, seeing what exactly Ben Nevis is about and what mountain climbing is about. I'd never done a mountain climb before, and it was quite exciting, to be honest, but when I looked at the reviews by different people who have done the mountain climb, and I just asked myself, why am I even doing this? Mountain climbing has never been my hobby, but I just thought I'll do this because it's for Ahlulbayt TV and it's for a good cause. And when I looked into it, I really wasn't looking forward to climbing a mountain for 5-6 hours and coming down for 4 or 5 hours. And then the first thing I then did was watch a documentary for the last climb that was done by Ahlulbayt TV, and I heard how Arif Chandu described his experience, saying it was difficult coming down than it was going up there. But then I looked into the WhatsApp group and I looked at the different people who were joining the climb with me. And some very exciting, funny characters were in there. And I guess that was enough of an inspiration to look forward to the trip.
Imran Datu, Ahmed Gokul, Mehdi Raza Lilani, Jamil Rajani, Jamil.
The reason I wanted to do to climb Ben Nevis was because I've never done anything like that, anything physically exerting like that. Therefore, I thought it'd be a good challenge, but at the same time raising money for Ahlulbayt TV, which is quite important because they're doing a good job. At the time, I was expecting it to be very easy because it's England, so I thought it'd just be fields and you'd be walking up fields and it wouldn't be anything hard. And the drive up there, I thought, oh look, it's all fields, it looks really good, should be easy, we should be up and down, but in 5 hours, it'll be a good laugh with the friends, make new friends as well. But I was completely wrong. I thought it would be easy, but when we got there, it was a quite high mountain.
Different. First you get to raise some funds and stuff for Ahlulbayt TV, etc. So, and also again challenge yourself. I've not done anything like this before, so first time. Thinking back about Ben Nevis and before we actually climbed it, I remember thinking it wasn't going to be that difficult. I think it was a case of, you think it's the biggest mountain in the UK, and then you think about Kilimanjaro, you think about Everest, so you think Ben Nevis is not going to be that tough. So I thought, it's going to be like a hill, of course not as small as a hill, but a mountain in a way, but not as big. So definitely didn't think it was going to be much of a struggle, but we were looking more forward to meet all the new friends, all the boys that were going to come on the trip.
This is for Nuri, our video and filming guy. Nuri, that's yours.
Will that be okay?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the jet. You're up going now, it's about it.
It's the same thing. You're not going out of your way. Because where the mountain is, and where the hostel is, it's very close to each other.
What's your expectations like?
Expectations? Walk in the park, mate. Walk in the park.
My initial thoughts when the brother called me up to ask me whether I'd come to the Ben Nevis challenge, and when I saw the posters was, yeah, I don't mind doing that. It seems like quite an easy walk up a hill, and quite a few people that I mentioned it to did say that it's just, you know, a stroll in the park, and the most challenging part is going to be the journey up to Scotland. Having said that, there was also a feeling of excitement because, I mean, the idea to me was sold when they said, you know, you're going to go with a whole group of brothers, and activities like this always motivate me because I enjoy networking, and especially with brothers from our community from all over the UK. So that was one aspect of it. The other aspect was somebody mentioned that we're going to go up to the top and hold the flag of Imam Hussein and hold the flag of Ahlulbayt up there, on the highest peak in Britain. And for me, that was something that I thought, yeah, I want to do.
Just debating whether to break custard or full right now, but waiting for Subway and hopefully go on another 9-hour journey and fall asleep maybe. We just saw 2 people come in and they wanted to try and sit down here, but when they saw us praying, they just moved away. I thought probably that was due out of respect because they just gave us our room to pray. It's the first time I've prayed in a service area, so it feels a bit good. Feels good to see that everyone's taken the initiative to pray on time. So, yeah.
Ben Nevis, I'm actually really excited. I want it to be more of a challenge than it looks at the moment. I want it to be hard. I don't want any incidents to happen, but I want it to be challenging, and because I want to experience the feeling of having completed it, making sure that I get to the top and then come back down safely. It's going to be a good challenge, especially with the weather. It's been raining for the whole day, so it's going to be good. I'm really excited, and there's a good bunch of people here. They're all excited as well, so it should be good.
I think the challenges of the climb will reflect life in such a way that, you know, it will show you that each step of the way as you go, there are challenges. You know, you enter a new phase of life, new challenges to overcome, and the same with the climb. You know, as you climb, you're going to get more and more tired. Same with life, you're going to get more stressed, more challenges, but you know, it's all about how you overcome it, and you know, to actually get above that, be that bigger person, and change for the better, become a stronger person. And I see that way relating to life as well quite closely.
I think that the climb will be very relatable to challenges that I experienced in my life, especially on the physical side. I'm quite an athletic person, but I've experienced many injuries. To complete the climb, despite having all these injuries and having had surgery, it will be quite an achievement. On the other side as well, there's challenges within, personal challenges that you overcome, and completing the climb will almost say, inspire me, motivate me that I can do anything.
Imam Hussein's story will help numerously. You know, I'm speechless left. So, you know, when you think about Imam Hussein's sacrifice, it's unbelievable the lengths he went to. This mountain climb we're climbing is absolutely nothing for it. So, you know, if we look up to him in a way that, you know, he did so much, he was willing to, you know, he got sacrificed, he killed, he knew he was going to die, but for the sake of Islam, to sacrifice. If he can do that, give his life, we can give 4 or 5 hours, you know, even if it is a little bit hard. But yeah, definitely think of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, his sacrifice gives you that strength, the inner strength, inshallah.
सिमट गया तो उसी को हुसैन कहते हैं। हुसैन वाले हैं, हम हुसैन वाले हैं, हम हुसैन वाले हैं, हम हुसैन वाले हैं।
Looking at these mountains, especially if you look behind me over there, they're quite steep, so
I don't think it's going to be as easy as we thought. But I think part of this is that we're going to be doing this for Ahlulbayt TV and taking the flags up with us as well. So ultimately the goal is to go to the top and hold those banners up there like we do. So we see the banners on top of the holy shrines, and this time we'll be holding them at the highest peak in Britain.
It's freezing right now. Alhamdulillah, I have another jacket with a lot of fur inside, so hopefully on top of this it will contain the cold, and gloves, etc, etc, so prepared. But yeah, it is very cold and we're not even started climbing yet. So yeah, inshallah, let's see. It's all about challenging yourself, and you know, Imam Hussein alayhi salam surpassed the word challenge by a country mile. So again, like I said, what we're going to do today is absolutely something so minor, but we'll take his story as an inspiration, you know, just to the struggles they went through, the patience they had to you know, bear.
Getting ready to climb the mountain, I feel it's quite challenging. Having seen the scenery, but it's going to be amazing because the weather's really nice, it's improved, the sun's out, everyone's up for it and excited, so I can't wait. I want to see how I conquered the challenge, how fast I can do it, how everyone else does it as well, and what happens when we get to the top.
Yeah, kind of excited, a bit of a goosebumps, but yeah, should be fine, hopefully, inshallah.
What did the instructor tell you?
Well, he just said don't overload yourself, don't wear too many layers, which I'm very happy about, because I'm not someone who likes wearing too many layers. He also said we have to be careful. It's quite interesting how he pointed out about the environment, and we need to be careful about what we do up there. Don't throw rubbish around, make sure we bring it down, whatever we take up. And coincidentally, Islam taught us that even when we were born 1400 years ago. So seems like we're all again going to madrasa once more.
I'm excited, ready. My clothes are ready, waterproof. Got the brief done by the guides, and they said it should take about 8 hours there and back. So I'm looking forward to it. They said it was going to be really hot for the first half of it, and then it will cool down. Not for a little about. Just be respectful, to be honest, because there's a lot of people up there. Be safe, listen to what they say, and enjoy it. Personally, I'm quite an active person, so I think I should be fine with the climb. But we'll find out. Fitness levels are low at the moment. I haven't been playing sport that much, so I think it should be a challenge, but I should be fine.
Can you help me do my shoelaces?
Well done, guys, you've made it to the start.
As I was climbing the mountain, I was thinking beforehand, because a lot of us were talking about the experiences we've had in our lives and how and where Imam Hussein has come in and helped us. And I think one of the most amazing experiences I've had is, and I've been lucky enough to go back to Ziyarah a number of times, but in 2010/11, so we're talking December 10, January 11, we were going to Iraq, and on the way we went to Syria, but we only spent 1 day in Syria and a number of days in Iraq. But whilst I was in Iraq, my heart was still in Syria because I felt I didn't spend enough time at Sayyida Zainab. And when I was there in Karbala, I was in Bain al-Haramain, and my heart was, you know, I'm extremely humbled to be here, but I wish I had spent some time there. And it was just that wish, you know, I didn't even go and hold the Dhari or anything like that. It was just a wish. We came back, and I remember saying to my parents at the time, I wish we had spent more time there. And this just before Ahlulbayt in 2011. And somehow I met somebody that I know in the community, and I mentioned this to them as well. And all of a sudden, before I knew it, they said to me, you know, we're going in a couple of weeks' time, why don't you come with us? And I was worried about the visa, managing to get a ticket there, so last minute, some accommodation. And somehow within 4 days or 5 days of coming back from Iraq, I already had a visa sorted and a ticket sorted to go to Sham. And we were in Sham for a good 7 days, and every day, alhamdulillah, I managed to spend a good 3, 4, 5 hours at the Haram. And even when we got to Syria, I went with somebody from here who I didn't know, but we were meeting the other guys over there. I got to Syria, I had no clue, you know, I don't speak the language. I've been there before, but I had no clue where to meet these guys that I was meeting up with. We were, you know, I didn't have their Syria number, unfortunately, because we were meant to meet at the airport, but some delays and various other factors meant that we couldn't find them. We made our way, you know, I knew where, you know, roughly to go. So I said to the taxi driver, let's go to Sayyidah Zainab. Went into Sayyidah Zainab. We had no clue where to leave our bags. So I said to the other person that I was with, I said, you know, just wait here. And deep down in my heart, I was not worried. Had I been anywhere else in the world, I would have been extremely worried because I don't speak the language. I don't know the place. But here, my heart was at peace because I knew that Imam Hussein is going to help me. And I made it through the markets just outside, just behind the shrine. For those of you that have been, will know what I'm talking about. I went into the shrine, and quite literally, it sounds like one of those stories that are just meant to be. Quite literally, I entered, and all of them were just stood just outside the Sahan. Just outside the actual main building, the Zari entrance area. All of them were stood there. And for me, it might seem like a small thing, but deep down I knew that this is all being pulled together by one person, we'll say the Zainab and Imam Hussein. And it's stories like these that make you realise how much they help you without you even knowing that they're helping you in your life. And I'm sure plenty of people have stories like this. I mean, there are other people that have gone to Iraq, and Iraq is more challenging because it's bigger. You know, you sometimes land in Baghdad, and some of the stories that you hear from people getting to Baghdad, into Najaf, are well and truly amazing.
That's Ben Nevis there. You can see the shoulder, yeah? I was speaking to a tour guide earlier, he said that's Ben Nevis. I don't think we've even started really our ascent. But inshallah, let's see. We're getting a little bit out of breath, I think, when yeah, I suppose the warm-up walk is actually quite long. Because I thought after we'd come out from our hostel or whatever, we'd go straight to the climb. But there is actually quite a walk, but gets you warmed up, I guess. Oh, it's beautiful. You can, you know, see for yourself. It's absolutely stunning, stunning. Seriously. I mean, the parts of the UK where we are, we don't get anything like this. So you feel like you are on holiday in a different place in the world. So alhamdulillah, very, very beautiful. Subhanallah, yeah. In our, obviously in our history, he is one of the biggest, you know. He's the son of the biggest man, Imam Ali. And he's, his son also, Hazrat Abbas, the biggest. You know, everything you associate with the Ahlulbayt, it's big, it's powerful, it's great, you know. You always look up to them, they're role models. You know, if we want to follow in their footsteps. So, this mountain, huge. So, linking with Ahlulbayt again, you know, with their teachings, you know, keeping in mind, it strengthens yourself, you know, it doesn't, you know, spiritually. So, when you're actually climbing, yes, you do need your physical strength, but mentally you have to be on it. So if you think about Abu Abdullah Hussein, Imam Ali, Hazrat Abbas, this will be no problem, inshallah. It won't be doing justice. Even this highest peak doesn't do justice, but it's the best we can do in the UK to actually raise that point and make the statement about, you know, if the flag is to go somewhere, it has to be at the highest point to represent what they have taught us, to represent their sacrifice. Their sacrifice in Karbala was the biggest we know, biggest in our history of the whole world.
Yeah, feeling good. It's been an hour into a walk, so it's nice. I suppose it's 2 more hours to go. Feeling good, alhamdulillah.
How long does it take us to go to the top from here?
At this pace.
Good 3 hours, realistically. Looking at a good 3 hours. So what I think we ought to do now is split into 3 groups so that everyone's moving at a nice steady pace and they're moving at their own pace. So that's pretty important. And guys want to go quick, then that needs to be our team at the front. So we can have, you know, 6, 7 people in that team. Okay, so if you guys can sort that out now, who's going to...
As I was climbing Ben Nevis, I was thinking of the struggles in life, and we were climbing up to the top, thinking of the terrains. I saw people slip in front of me, and one step wrong and it would have ended up in a fatality. So we were climbing up and we were tired, so we took a break. We sat on a rock that was close to us, and at that time I started thinking of all the struggles that I've been through in my life, especially a recent one, a very recent one earlier this year, when I was involved in a car crash in London. I was driving along a road in London at night time, and I turned a corner, which was it was a 30-mile-per-hour road, and I was driving up that road, and suddenly I see flashlights in front of me on my side of the road, and the impacts of the climb made me think of the impact of the crash. So I was driving along the road, and suddenly I see these flashlights coming towards me. At first I thought it was someone that's probably overtaking or pulling a prank, but as I got closer I saw the car accelerating towards me, and it got closer and closer. I looked him in the eyes and he was getting closer and closer, and suddenly out of nowhere he just went straight into my car with a massive impact. There was smoke everywhere, the airbags popped out, and I was in complete shock. I couldn't believe what had happened. My cousin was sitting next to me, he was there as well, but alhamdulillah we both came out alive from it. And however, we were very shocked as to what happened. As I was turning around, I was trying to get out of the car because smoke was coming out. I see the driver coming towards me, and at first he was coming towards me, then he turned around and started to walk away, and then eventually ran away from the scene. I came out of the car, and there was a person behind me that also crashed into me, and she started calling the police, and I spoke to the police who came to the scene. The ambulance was at the scene, and the police brought their dogs, and they started searching the area, and they found the person and they arrested him, and it turned out that he was a drunk driver. He was 3 times over the limit. As I said, I was going through many emotions, especially sadness and shock after the accident. I went home for a month away from uni, and being around family helped me a lot, helped me recover from the injuries. I had to have physios, had to have appointments with doctors, but having my family around me, my mum, my dad, my brothers and my sisters, they kept me comfortable, they kept me warm. And my mum always told me that when you go through any sad events such as this, don't ever be sad for yourself. Think about the tragedy of Karbala. Think about what Imam Hussein had to go through. Think about what Bibi Zainab had to go through. And my sadness, by thinking about that, my sadness was almost completely removed. I wasn't even thinking about it. And this really helped. And I just thought that having this background of having the tragedy of Karbala around me every year, mourning for it, how much it actually does for us that we don't realize. While recovering, I was thinking, would I ever be able to get back to my usual self? Would I be able to take part in my normal activities such as play football, play volleyball, play golf, do anything else? And thinking about the accident, I thought that I need to take life more, I need to do more with my life, take part in many more activities, take part in challenges, and don't just take it for granted. And alhamdulillah, about less than 6 months later, I'm here doing the Ben Nevis challenge, climbing up to the top of the mountain, and I'm thankful to God that He's given me this opportunity.
I think the higher we go, the view just becomes majestic. It's absolutely amazing. The higher you go, you can see more and more. You can see down, and you can see other people trying to get up, and you're getting away from all the artificial, man-made structures, and you're going up there where it's all natural, and it just feels amazing. It's like it's a great experience. It's a unique experience. I'm more tired than I expected. I'm sweating a lot. The weather's been great for us. There's light showers, but I'm very tired. But I think I can still make it. Your energy levels go up and up as the higher you get. I think because the motivation increases as you see the peak and you see the top of the mountain. So it's a great experience, but it's definitely tiring and more challenging than I thought. I think when I reach up there, I'll definitely appreciate the whole struggle. When I usually complain between train stations when I'm walking 5 minutes and I say, oh, that's a long walk. But now, having gone through this, I thought I was walking for an hour, but it was only been 25 minutes, and it felt like an hour. So when I get to the top, I'll definitely appreciate the view more. I'll take time to understand, to take everything in, to take the view, the scenery, the people. Like, I've made a lot of new friends here that I never knew before, and I'll definitely take that. So when I get back, that will change for me.
We've just reached the halfway point, and not too bad so far. I feel quite refreshed after getting some water from the waterfall. But at this point I did remember one thing: we were all quite thirsty, and as soon as we needed water, it was just there at our disposal as much as we wanted. And at that point you remember the thirst of the people of Karbala, and you sort of appreciate the bounties and benefits that Allah has given us. A little bit tired, but I think it's getting easier as we go up. It probably doesn't go with logic, but I think the first part is quite tough because you're just walking to the mountain. When you actually start going up the mountain, it's not too bad. Just fell just now and hit my head on your elbow, which wasn't nice either. But mesmerised, mashallah, subhanallah. Absolutely beautiful. I've not witnessed anything like this for a long time. It's lovely to see the nature, and what's even more amazing is that which keeps you motivated. You've got people who are probably about in their 60s, and you've got kids in about 10-12 years old just sort of walking up casually. So that makes you feel that, you know, we shouldn't be struggling as much as we are, but I guess it's lack of experience as well. But as I said, it's getting better as we go up. It requires quite a lot of patience and discipline, because every turn you take, the terrain is different. So like at the moment, the kind of path we're on is pretty even. There's not that many boulders or rocks, but just around the corner, there's quite a lot of rocks in the way, and it was awkward, and you've got people coming one way and the other. You just got to be patient and not rush yourself as you're going up, and go steady and go at your own speed. And the other thing is also just also be sort of links in with patience, but be mindful of the others around you, because we're here and we're setting an example. We're representing the Ahlulbayt. So we've got to make sure that one thing that was of note, that, you know, we don't litter, which we're not supposed to anyway, but you know, especially here where scenery and surroundings are so clean and beautiful, we don't want to ruin that by littering. And so far I think we're doing pretty well.
As we were climbing mountain of Ben Nevis, I then realized it wasn't as easy as I thought it was. I mean, just the first quarter of it already made us start sweating, a little bit out of breath as well. And it made me recall some of my memories and struggles that I've had in my own life. Because this was in itself a struggle, one of the hardest things I did to actually climb this mountain. So it did definitely made me realize and relate back to the memories I have had in my life. One of them being, I think the one that stands out the most for me is when it came to my A-levels and I had to get into university. So it was the last year of sixth form, and I was applying to study pharmacy in the various universities. And obviously I got some offers come through. I went to see the open days, so I went to Nottingham University, I went to De Montfort University in Leicester, and I went to Aston University for an open day in Birmingham, which was clearly my favourite, Aston University. So I'm representing it now as well. For everyone out there, go to Aston University. Alhamdulillah, very good university to go to. But the issue was that when Aston University came back to me with the offer, they wanted me to get, if I can remember, yes, an A in math, a B in biology, and a B in chemistry. Now, alhamdulillah, math and the chemistry I don't think was going to be an issue, but the B in biology was something I'd never actually achieved in my life. When it came since GCSEs, year 9 GCSEs, even the first year of A-level, when it came to biology, C was the maximum I achieved, no matter how hard I tried. I loved the subject because obviously it's all about nature, how the humans are, how plants are, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has actually created everything to the intricate detail. So it's a very interesting subject, one which I loved and one which I needed for my pharmacy course, of course. But for some reason, I could just never get above a C. So when I got this email from Aston University telling me, Imran, you need to get a B in biology, I definitely was a little bit scared. I got shaken up a little bit because I just started thinking, how am I possibly going to get this B that I've never achieved before? I've tried past papers, I tried learning different revision techniques, but I'd never get above a C. Now, but I really wanted to go to university at Aston, so somehow I had to get this B in biology. How? I didn't know. So I started revising as per normal and reciting the dua, namaz. Of course, at the end of your prayers, you do pray to Allah, of course, ask everyone's wishes, then you ask for yourself. One of which was, please enable me to get all my grades, not just biology, of course, math and chemistry had to be there as well, but help me enhance in biology because that was where my issue was. And one day my mother actually told me, she said, Imran, Ziyarat Ashura, a very, very powerful ziyarah to recite. You recite it every day, after which you ask for your hajat, and miracles will happen. Now me being, 17, 18-year-old, I was just like, okay, like I knew, you hear in loads of majalis the power of Ziyarat of Ashura, and I was just like, okay, mom, thank you. But, didn't take too much notice of it. But I did it anyway. I was just like, you know what? I need this right now. So whatever it takes, I will do it. So from then I started Ziyarat Ashura every day. And I think it was about 3 weeks to go till the exam. Every day, Ziyarat Ashura. I finished revising, Ziyarat Ashura, Hajat. Next day, study, Ziyarat Ashura, Hajat. Every day carried on, and I was just hoping for the best because never have I experienced anything, like a miracle happen. And, all of us, we hear so many stories that, oh, you do this amal, this happens. You go here to ziyarah, this happens. But if you don't live that, you don't know. So I was in that, I had that veil in front of me, if you will. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I thought, Bismillah, let's see what happens. So getting there, the exam day came. I did the exam and I felt exactly like I did every year for a biology exam as I've done in the past. I felt like it went okay. I didn't know if it went great, if it went bad. I thought it was in the middle. But I was thinking, my God, to get that B I needed to get into university, I really wanted to be a bit more confident at the exams, but I wasn't. It was the same. But again, carried on the Ziyarat Ashura. My mother did tell me, don't lose hope, just carry on, inshallah, you'll be fine. Now come the results day. The way the universities work, I'm sure you know, UCAS on their website will issue the results to let you know if you've got your place or if you haven't. And if you haven't, then you can go through clearing, etc., etc. So I was there from 4 a.m. refreshing the page. Have I got in? Have I got in? Because you hear sometimes the results come out at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So I didn't want to be late. Nothing came out till 8 a.m. that day. So I was there for good 4 or 5 hours, just refreshing the button. But at 8 a.m., alhamdulillah, I got a message saying, congratulations, you've been accepted at Ascent University. Which meant, now I didn't know my specific grades, what I got, but I knew I had got the requirements that Aston required, which is a B in biology. So at that moment, straight away, went to thank my mom, went to inform my family, and then do the 2 rakat shukr namaz for actually getting in, because it was something I didn't think I would be able to achieve. And obviously that morning we get into school, and then you get your envelopes of the results of what you got. So I opened the envelope, and I was amazed to actually see that in those modules of biology I had received A's. How? I had no idea. Like I said, in the exams when I did it, I was not confident, but it was okay. I thought literally it was like one of those C grades again. But I can only devote this A that I got to the Amal of Ziyarat of Ashura. I cannot explain. It's one of those, you just cannot explain how it happened, but it did. So this is one of the big struggles that I related to when I was climbing the mountain, because it was a case of just fight, persevere, remember the Ziyarat of Imam Hussein, Ziyarat Ashura, remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam. On the mountain, it was difficult, but at the same time, just remembering Imam Hussein, remembering his struggles that he went through. Of course, what struggles we go through is nothing compared to what he did. But just to remember him, remember his name, remember his tragedy, and to think if he could go to those heights, we can make ourselves struggle a little bit more, push ourselves a little bit more to climb the mountain.
Group's all right. You are doing. You're doing okay. Could be doing a bit quicker, but see how that goes. You just got to take it steady.
Every step I was taking up there was a real test. I've gone through a lot of struggles in life, but if I compare it to many people, I think my struggles aren't as high as theirs are. And when you look around the world and the people that have struggled through day in, day out. But when I climbed the mountain, the biggest struggle I remember was when I had to undergo another eye surgery, simply because my first eye surgery went wrong. The thing that I wasn't really looking forward to was going under the knife for a second time. With the risk of being blind once again, I really didn't want to do this. However, I had no choice, and that was the only thing I had to do in order to make sure that I do not end up being blind naturally. And when I climbed up there, for every step that I took, I remembered how difficult of a decision it was to sign those papers when it said, it's my consent that I now agree to do the surgery. The thing that always came up to me was Abu al-Fadl Abbas. He's always been my inspiration. He's always been my role model. He's the person I've always looked up to every time I've had a struggle. And when I look into his story and when I look at how inspirational and motivational of an individual he was, it just made me do this. Because I've always heard poets say, I've always heard lecturers say, and I've always heard scholars say that if Abu al-Fadl is asked a wish, he would never turn you down. And that's what inspired me. And when I signed my papers, I just left it to Abu al-Fadl and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Probably they know best and they know why I had to do this. But then when I had my eye surgery papers done, and I sat back home and told my family about the decision I had made. It was something that put my family into worries. It put my mom into worries. It put my dad into worries. It was something that they weren't really looking forward to, especially because I was miles away from home and there was nobody else to take care of me here. But then one of the most amazing things in my life happened, and for that I will forever be grateful to Abul Fadl. It was during these times that I had decided to go for Arba'in, but every time I had tried for 6 years to go for Arba'in and I'd never been there. I tried for 12 years to go for the ziyarah of Abul Fadl Abbas and Imam al-Hussein, but I've only been successful once. But for this Arba'in, I tried my best, but nothing worked out. To make it worse, one day when I woke up, I found a letter from NHS saying my surgery was exactly 3 days before the trip to Arba'in. That meant I could never ever travel. And then came the 8th night of Ashura, the night where Abul Fadl's martyrdom is commemorated. And it was during this night when I walked into mosque and I looked into the flag of Abul Fadl, and I remembered every word of a scholar, a lecturer, a poet, a reciter that always told me, if you ask Abul Fadl, he will never let you down. And I looked into his flag and I went up to him and I walked up to the flag and I held it tight and I said, if there's one person who can take me to Arba'in this year, it is you, Ya Abul Fadl. And if I do manage to go to Arba'in this year, then I promise you 2 things. One is I'll wear your flag all the way to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala until I finish my trip. And the second thing I promised Abul Fadl was that I'll take the names of every individual who asked for prayers to be prayed on behalf of them, write them down in a paper and put it into the shrine of Abul Fadl. I went back home thinking I've just done another ritual, just praying for the best to happen. And that night, I never slept. I went downstairs back home, and at the corner of our house, we have the flag of Abul Fadl. And I sat down and I recited what is known as a Latmi or a Marshia. And then I did the Amal of Abul Fadl, and when I went back upstairs to sleep. Exactly 3 weeks later, when I was asleep, my uncle called and he said, Assalamu alaikum, I've booked your ticket for Arba'in this year. And I said to him, I can't because I have an eye surgery due. And he said, I don't know what to tell you, but your ticket's booked, go sort out your visas and let's hope for the best. When I walked down that particular day, I see a letter from NHS and that told me, your surgery has now been postponed to January 2014. Your surgery has now been postponed to January 2014. When I looked into that, I rushed and I ran directly to the flag of Abul Fadl in my house. And I cried. And I said, how generous is he who lost his hands yet gave everyone what they asked for. Since then, my life has changed. Not because I went to Arba'in, but because I believed and I finally agree that if you ask Abul Fadl for anything, he will give it to you.
ज़हरा उम्मत ने बहुत आपको तड़पाया है बीबी हर हक के लिए आपको तरसाया है बीबी, गासिब ने जो दरबार में बुलवाया है बीबी, इस दुख से लरज़ने लगा खुद अर्श खुदा का, या फातिमा ज़हरा, या फातिमा ज़हरा।